Peace and love, family. Peace and love. It's your boy Chris Enlightened coming back again with some more spiritual fiddles. And today I'm going in on navigating around family and friends on your spiritual path. Ooh, this is a good one, family. This is a good one. I've had a lot of comments lately, a lot of messages and phone calls and consultations where people are asking about how do they navigate around their family and friends while on the spiritual path. Simple. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I just released a video about coming out of the spiritual closet. And if you're worried about how someone else feels about your spiritual growth, you're already losing. A lot of people live at home with their parents or their significant other or big mama or their auntie or cousins. And if you're over the age of 23 and you're still living at home, I say move out. Move out. Step out in your light. And if you're working with your ancestors, you have your ancestor altar up, they're going to make a way out of no way. It's just as simple as that. No one evolves if they're not going through any challenges. It's going to be tough in the beginning. But if you're over the age of 23 and you're still living at home, it's time to move out. You cannot be living at home well into your 30s or late 20s and you're afraid to be you. How can you even express yourself spiritually if you're worried about other people around your house? I've had a lot of people say I can't put my altar up because I'm living with my granny and she doesn't understand it. I'm living with my mama or my auntie or my cousin. Move out. It's just that simple. If you're taking care of your ancestors, pouring libations, burning ancestral money, feeding them daily, giving them prayers, they're going to make a way out of no way. The definition of a miracle is something that the human mind can't understand. And your ancestors can reconstruct the tapestry of your reality and make a way out of no way. Let's say you have your ancestor altar up and you have company coming over. Do not, let me retort, do not put your altar in the closet. Leave it out. Don't be like, hey guys, that's my altar right there. Don't say that. Let them ask you questions like, what is that? Then you divulge, this is my ancestor altar. This is how I'll take care of my ancestors. Leave it at that. Keep it simple. Because if you go in too deep, they're not going to understand it. But don't hide it. You know, peace and blessings be upon all my ancestors, known and unknown. But I've had some family members come over and they say, hey, what's that? And I say, it's my ancestor altar. And since they can't really understand what it is, they don't really say much. They don't really say much. But this is my domain. If you don't like it, get out. Get out. But you cannot be afraid or ashamed of your ancestor worship. You can't be afraid of that, family. You got to come out of that spiritual closet and walk in your own light. Nothing against any religious people, but they're not ashamed of what they believe in. If you believe in something or you know something, you should be able to talk about it freely. Don't even worry about how other people feel about your spiritual growth. When you're worried and when you're afraid, you're opening the door for more worry and fear to come in your life. I stand in my light. I'm not ashamed of nothing I do because I'm a winner. And winner wins on all facets of life, not just some. You know, I was in a meeting today and some great people. For the most part, the meeting was on point. The meeting was on point. And the concept of ancestor altars came up and I spoke on what I've been doing over the past years. And I also mentioned stop cursing. And, you know, one of the members, they couldn't understand the reason why they shouldn't stop cursing. They didn't understand why it's so bad. And instead of going in on why, at the time, I understood that the person that was asking me that couldn't understand. And I realized that she was fighting for her limitations, or her ego was fighting for its level of understanding. I've noticed that with people, when you try to introduce something that's going to help them and it's so far outside of their paradigm, they just fight for the paradigm that they believe in. And I understand that. I've seen it happen time and time again. But whenever I'm introduced with something that's going to help me, instead of shunning the information, I'll accept it, try it, and if it works for me, I'll keep it. But if it doesn't work for me, I'll dismiss it. But I say all that to say this. If you're listening to this channel right now, and there's anything that I'm saying that's making me win, why not give it a shot for yourself to see if it works for you? Okay? And if it doesn't work for you, then dismiss it. But you cannot evolve if you're staying in your own bubble of no system. It doesn't work like that. If you're not following a true spiritual master, if you're self-taught on everything, you're only going to get a certain amount of results. It's just as simple as that, family. Just imagine if you were at a family reunion and your mother was like, you know what, I don't even know who this kid is. You know what I mean? You'd feel a certain way about that. And that's the same way your ancestors feel when you're ashamed of them or you're not strong enough to mention them or speak on their behalf. They're doing a lot more for you than you realize if you have your ancestor altar up and if you're working with them. They're doing things, they're making moves before you even come into certain situations. You know what I mean? There could be a wreck and they'll make you misplace your keys or something like that. They're doing so much for you and they're moving in silence. But when you start rocking with your ancestors, when you really start taking care of them and cultivating a relationship with them, you'll have this deep, rich intuition of knowing, and you're just going to know things are going to work out in your favor. It's just as simple as that. And if your friends can't understand your growth, cut them out. One thing I've learned on the spiritual path is this. Whenever you grow spiritually, all the people that was with you when you were losing spiritually, they're going to fight to keep you where they are. They're going to shun you. They're going to talk bad about you. You just cut them out. And whenever you create a void in your life, the universe will refill that void with more light. A lot of people in your life, including family members, they're nothing more than intelligent algorithms in this illusionary reality to prevent you from growing spiritually. And when you cut them out, you're going to create a void, and the universe is going to fill that void with someone that can help you win and grow. It's just as simple as that, family. You do not, even if you were born into a family, you do not have to stay with them. You can go out and find your real soul family and you will win. If you're with your family and you're not winning, you may have to step away from your family, start winning, then come back and reintroduce what you're doing to help them win if you choose to. You ever notice the real wealthy people in your family? They don't live around your family. They always move away. They move away and they're winning. You be like, where's Cousin Junebug at? Oh, he lives in California. I heard he's doing real good. Because they understand the secret sauce of winning. Get away from the losers and go where the winners are. It's just as simple as that, family. And if you're afraid to rock with your ancestors, you're going to lose every time. You can only go so far with human effort. You have to align yourself with a higher divine source. I say this in every other video because I want to get it in through to your heads that you have to align yourself with a higher divine source in order to win out here. If you're not doing that, you're losing. All the rich folks, the powers that be, other nationalities, all these Chinese, all these other folks are rocking with higher divine forces and they're winning. They're keeping it secret because they don't want you to know about it. But I ain't scared. I'm going to tell you about it. It's Abraxas right here. This is taught in one of its original form. This is where the name abracadabra comes from, Abraxas. Every book that I wrote, I wore this medallion. And I noticed that when I write my books and I have this medallion on, my words are eloquent. My sentence structure is on point. My punctuation is astute. Everything that I do wins. Because I've aligned myself. I tethered my consciousness up with this medallion here. When I first started on my spiritual path, my medallion was always tucked when I go around family members. I pretty much wear my medallion like this around family members. I'm just joking, family. I wear my medallion like this around family members. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a showstopper. I walk in the door, people are like, hey, what's that? And I tell them. And if they want me to divulge more, I will. But now, a lot of my family members and friends that are stuck in their self-imposed mental box, they don't ask me questions anymore like that. Because when you shake up someone's paradigm, it's tough. There's no easy way to tell someone that their reality is a fallacy. Because they believe it. And they're going to fight for their limitations every time. Lastly, family, if you want to win, You got to be willing to go where no man has gone before. You got to do things that no one else is doing. You got to wake up early. You got to read a book every week. If you're not reading at least a book a month, something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying, family? When you have your ancestor altar up, try something new. Don't just do the same thing every day. And that's fine if you want to program your altar. But you want to keep growing, keep doing new things, trying new things out. And if you try something out and it works, write it down and save it for later. You never know who you'll inspire by giving and showing people things that you're doing to win. So on that note, family, peace and love. It's your boy Chris Enlightened. I can be reached every Wednesday on Anchor on the Mental Health Cipher with my boy SY Shanti. Me and my wife Divine Queen. We got a bunch of radio shows out there on blogtalkradio.com/Twin Flame Radio. Support the page, support the movement. We'll be back sometime in April. We're just taking some time off. We've been on the air for 3 years, and we needed a break to work on some other things that we have in store for you. Always go out to Amazon.com and support my wife's books, my book, and my wife's books. My wife wrote the book, I Am. The book is banging. Go out to Amazon. Again, it's I Am by Divine Queen. Check out my books, The Enlightened Taught. It's a book of metaphysical spiritual poems that's guaranteed to titillate your frontal lobe. Poverty Consciousness, the best-selling book on Amazon. It really breaks down the consciousness of poverty that afflicting most humans out here that are losing. And I also have another best-selling book called Wealth Consciousness. And if you really want to understand all the facets of wealth out there in your reality, Wealth Consciousness is the book for you. So on that note, family, peace and love. Winning!